Good evening, everyone. The April 8th meeting of the Renville City Council will now come to order. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, let's take a look at the agenda, and we'll take a motion to approve. We have one change. The committee reports, add number C, the HR report.
I'll move to approve this agenda.
I'll second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to approve the agenda. We are going to move Justin up to item number 4 under visitors. So with that, I will call for the vote. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
And opposed, no. Motion carried. Let's take a look at the March 25th meeting minutes.
Move to approve the minutes.
Second.
All right, we have a motion and a second to approve the March 25th meeting minutes. Any changes, corrections, or discussion? All right, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
And opposed, no. Motion carried. Okay, we are going to hear from Justin at this time. Justin Black, you can come forward if you like.
Great. Maybe scoot up here a bit. In your packet tonight are construction plans for a mill and overlay project, DuPont Avenue. Give me a minute to get those out. If you remember last year, we replaced the storm sewer piping on DuPont Avenue, the underground drainage system. We only patched the areas where we replaced the storm sewer pipe, the trenches. This year's project includes the bituminous overlay of the entire street width from curb line to curb line, from 2nd Street all the way to 5th Street. So about 1,600 feet of street. There's no underground piping work, no concrete curb and gutter work, just the bituminous surfacing. So kind of the second portion of this project, if you will. We did put together a engineer's estimate on the project, and the total estimated cost is about $110,000. Just some more details about the project. We're milling the edge or removing the edge of the pavement along the curb line so we can match back into that curb and still maintain the drainage in the curb. We'll be putting 2 inches of bituminous along the edges and transitioning up to 3 inches of bituminous in the center of the street. So we'll increase the crown a little bit to get the water to run out of the curb lines. As far as schedule goes for the project, I know that Jordan distributed this at the last meeting, but I brought with some additional copies just to go over it again.
Justin, is there an engineering standard for the amount of crown in a city street?
Yes, usually we like to see 2 to 3%.
Okay.
And right now DuPont is less than that. It's in some areas it's pretty flat. It's almost a flat street or inverted crown. So like I said, using about 3 inches of bituminous to get that 2.5 to 3% to make sure the water sheets
Okay.
off over the curb line. But that was a good question.
And the sewer line now is, or the drain is able to take it, because I live close to that, and we had, there were years when we had water a foot in the basement, because that street, you could swim in at times.
We're glad to hear that. Yeah, we wanted to.
And I haven't noticed it now the last 2 years, but that's being taken care of.
That was taken care of as part of last year's
That's what I
project.
thought.
We put in a larger pipe and more drains, so we did a combination of things there to take care of that. It was, when we took a look at it last year, the pipe was just too small, it was starting to collapse, and there just wasn't enough drains to collect the water.
No, right.
So we've taken care of that, and now we're just finishing things off with
It's really,
the bituminous, so it'll look like, almost like a new street when we get all said and done. Because the project is over $100,000, we need to follow the state public bidding procedure. You'll need to advertise the project for 3 weeks, hold a public bid opening, and then we'll bring those bid results back to the council for your review and approval. But just looking at the schedule, the top line there is tonight's council meeting. And the action for tonight for the council would be to authorize us to advertise the project. And we would advertise the project in both the Renville County Register and then a state trade bulletin, the Finance and Commerce, so it would be distributed statewide. Like I mentioned, we'd advertise for 3 weeks, open bids on Thursday, May 9th, and then we would bring those bid results to your May 13th council meeting. As things move ahead, we would hold a pre-construction conference with the contractor in late May. And by specification, we wouldn't allow them to start until after June 10th, just so that the city can have their celebration without any interference from the contractor. And then we would put a completion date of August 16th, so we'd have things wrapped up before school started. The project wouldn't take that long to complete, probably a week to 10 days for the actual construction, but we want to give them a broader timeline to try to get some favorable bids. They can squeeze it into their schedule if they will, as the summer goes along.
That allows that contractor to get other jobs in the area too that might influence?
Absolutely. If
Okay.
they get other jobs in the area, that always helps to lower the bid price because there's not as much mobilization.
Okay. Well, we have a couple projects of our own that we talked about earlier that might fit into that, so.
Yeah, and if there's anything, once we get a contractor on board, we can visit with them about adding some things if the city would like to do that and review that as we go. But it's a nice sized project.
Okay.
I would make a motion to authorize,
Jordan?
put it out for bids, or advertise for bids.
Okay.
Second.
All right, we have a motion and a second to authorize the advertising of the bids for the DuPont project, according to the time frame that Justin just told us. Any discussion on that?
I don't know if it's the game of that or not, but how are we coming in on our streets in town as far as, are we pretty much up snuff?
Yeah, you're getting really close to having everything up to speed.
Okay.
In fact, this was one of the last things on the
On the
list,
last
really.
project.
I think
Okay.
that's right.
That's-
That's kind of what I had
I
remembered,
was
but
thinking that, but I wasn't sure.
The only thing I was gonna ask is we're all right on as far as the budget goes too.
This is planned in the budget.
Okay, I was-
it's kind of what the scope we planned on.
Huh?
It's kind of the amount we planned on.
Okay.
I remember last year, some of the storm drains by the bus garage here, I think there was an issue with those, but I don't remember if that had gotten taken care of. Was that last year?
We did take
Yeah,
care
that
of
was-
that.
That was, okay,
Yep.
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, there was an issue early on, and we had them come back and fix those, and everything seems to be working
Okay,
well.
everything's
I
good there, okay.
Did take a drive-by, and it looks like it's draining, so.
That's good.
I didn't see more.
All right, any other questions or concerns? Okay. All those in favor say aye,
Aye.
and opposed, no. Motion carried.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Justin.
Thanks for coming. That's good to see you.
Good to see you folks. too.
Yeah,
Sit
bye.
down.
Good jacket.
You might need that in a snowstorm,
Yeah,
Justin.
I know. Cold weather's coming.
Might be a little big for him.
Yeah, right.
All right, let's move on to the Public Works report. We had a Public Works meeting on April
Yeah.
3rd.
Public Works Committee met on April 3rd. First and the longest lasting discussion was with Mel Stocks and Bob Milhouse from Minocqua. Mel is president and Bob Milhouse is one of the board members. It is Minocqua. They had met with the sugar factory concerning waste heat. And the sugar factory in Jordan was also there, I believe. They just came basically to report on that meeting and to discuss the situation they're in. And basically, that is that they are no longer able to get a reliable source of heat from the sugar factory because of all the changes that have been done at the sugar factory where they're using their own waste heat. So they're looking for answers to how they can remain viable as a business
what options are out
Yeah,
there.
what
We
options
don't
are out
even know.
there and what we might be able to do to help them, and we gave them very little encouragement.
Because they cost us money.
Yeah, we gave them very little encouragement, but suggested that, one, right now, the price of natural gas is low enough that they could maintain a bit of a profit margin with natural gas, rather than the propane they're using for heat now. And, so Mel is gonna look into what it would take to, and what incentives the gas company might have to install a light, because they're looking for customers.
How are they sitting on their, update with the water, their backlog as far as their bills?
No change. There's no change. That was one of the other reasons we pointed out why we were probably very reluctant to do anything for them. There was, Jordan gave an update on downtown committee. Informed the committee of the availability of Renville's EDA downtown storefront rehab program. And the applications are available here at City Hall from Jordan. Jordan also informed the committee that precision concrete cutting will be returning in April and May to complete the trip hazard removal that we started last fall. And replace some panels of sidewalk, the tree roots or whatever.
A couple of weeks.
Now, do
Never-
they do the
Probably
replacing of
not.
those panels?
No,
They
Probably
don't,
not.
they just,
They
They're
identified
just a
some.
sawing
Oh, okay.
operation.
Yep.
But Pete will arrange.
yeah,
their-
okay.
And that was our meeting.
All right,
Did anything get discussed on, the brush site, is that still gonna open, the 15th, or is it gonna?
The date is still set for the, I believe it's the 15th, I would need to double check, but we'll set the date for cleanup day later on the agenda.
Make a motion to approve the Public Works Committee report?
and a second?
I'll second it.
All right, we have a motion and a second to approve the Public Works report. Any other discussion or questions? All right, all those in favor say aye,
Aye.
and opposed, no. Motion carried. Looks like you're up next, Jordan.
Okay, very brief, the EDA application for storefront rehab is available. For those people who are interested, I just stressed, for those people who are interested, get an application and fill it out and turn it in, and we'll consider it at the, April 17th meeting, so, it's important for those people who are interested to get that application. So, it's at City Hall.
Okay, and we're sure that everybody knows about that
Um,
because of the articles that were in the paper on EDA.
It's been publicized heavily in the paper,
Okay,
and it was also sent out to EDA members, and it's out there, so.
okay,
That's all I've got for my report.
okay. I will take a motion to approve Jordan's report.
So moved.
Second.
All right. We have a motion and a second to approve Jordan's report. Any discussion? All right, all those in favor say aye,
Aye.
and opposed, no. Motion carried. Moving on to the HR report of that meeting today. Do you want to take that one, Ray?
Yes, we met this afternoon with the police department, and with Ben specifically talking about the information we brought up 4 weeks ago about the police department working with the school and trying to get resources together, and Ben did come up with a policy type thing, and it's in its first stages, and I think everybody has a copy, so if you get a chance to read that within the next couple of weeks, he's gonna take this now back to the school, have the administration look through it. He would really, really like to, we'll probably initiate this whole thing in the fall if it goes through, but he would really like to have a presence at the school, and preferably by Ben himself, the last 2 or 3 weeks of school, maybe sometime in May, so that the kids can get used to seeing him up there. He can go around and maybe talk to some of them, talk to classrooms and so forth, to get this this project started. So it looked good to us on the committee, and yet, you know, it's gonna have to be tweaked, I'm sure, a little bit, and the school will come up with a few ideas of their own, but it's a start anyway. And then, both Ben and Jordan attended a workshop in Marshall on the 3rd of April, and they attended sessions relating to land use, human resources, excuse me, public nuisances and so forth, and Ben attended sessions related to employees' health and wellness and employee discipline and so forth, and they both said it was definitely worth the small amount of money that they had to spend to attend that. They really, really learned a lot in that one day, so that's good to hear. And then, we did talk a bit today about, the three major departments in our city, about space. And, Ben kind of steered us in the fact that there are lots of things that are deficient in the police department, and that we need to take a look at. It was talked about quite a while ago when the city still owned that building, and now it doesn't own it, we rent, and there are things that really should be done, need to be done, we've got to decide what to do. Also, Pete needs more storage for his equipment and so forth, and we are lacking some things in City Hall also. So, we kind of suggested that, Pete and Ben and, Jordan get together and kind of go down a list of needs. And maybe we can attack this in the same way that the street department, that we've, attacked the working of the streets in Renville. So that we do a few at a time and kind of work up, and there's no way we could do the whole thing in 1 year or even 2 years, but if we can set the major things and get a few done each year, eventually we'll get these needs completed. So, other than that.
Yeah, it was a good meeting.
It was a very good meeting.
It was a good meeting.
Not a nice venue. That building is,
I think you had your eyes open, didn't you?
I was trying to picture it as a library that it used to be 20 years ago, you know, and.
Yeah, I can still remember that
I
going in
can
there.
too.
It was
And-
pretty crowded
and
there
Now
too.
we're celebrating our 20th anniversary of our library over here this year, and I wondered if that was the original property that was in the library, probably that's in there now.
oh, I think so.
I think it is too.
Yeah, it definitely needs some work. I think one of the things that, and you might have mentioned it too, is that the rental agreement comes up this year, so we have some options available of what we need to do or what we can do. So,
It's a good, the timing's right to start talking about it.
yeah.
And ideas and suggestions that we can have from people as to how we could transform one thing or where we could, you know, do things, it all.
Well, the other thing that we probably want to think about, I mean, here we're putting together a contract to get a police officer in the school because they're concerned about safety and somebody coming in there. Well, the police department is the same kind of target when you think about it, and it's just totally open to the public, and people can walk in, everything is wide open out there. So, I mean, it really does need to be addressed in one way or the other, so hopefully, we can work out something to get that, at least set up to be a little bit more secure and safe, so. With that, I will take a motion to approve the HR report.
Move to approve the HR report.
Second.
All right, we have a motion and a second to approve the Human Resources report. Any other discussion, comments, or additions? All right, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
And opposed, no. Motion carried. Okay, let's go to, scheduling the cleanup days. I think you had,
Yep, Pete and Nate would recommend, April 19th from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. and the 20th, which is a Saturday, from 8 a.m. to noon.
That's for the cleanup days or for opening of the brush?
Cleanup days,
Is that a little early?
the 19th and 20th.
I'm wondering what's the weather and everything that we're having and have been having, if that's a little early.
Well,
People are just now being able to get some of the frozen
it's
stuff off.
quite a bit later than last year,
Of
but,
course
Yep,
it is,
it's a
but
couple
everything
weeks.
is.
but we can always reschedule if it's,
The
Yeah,
backup
or-
dates are the 26th and 27th, in case the weather's.
What was the shutdown time on the 19th?
Is that,
The brush site shut.
4 o'clock.
Oh.
yep, Friday till 4, Saturday till noon.
Do you need a motion for that, or is it just something that,
Yeah, to set it.
okay. I'll take a motion to set the cleanup, days and hours to April 19th, 10 to 4, and Saturday the 20th, 8 till noon, with backup, times exactly a week later.
Correct,
Okay,
That's again with no charge to the residents.
correct,
of town.
with no
And the
charge.
city residents.
right.
Mhm. I'll make that motion.
Okay, thank you.
Second.
All right, we have a motion and a second to approve the cleanup days for the spring. Any other questions or concerns? All right, all those in favor say aye,
Aye.
and opposed, no. Motion carried. Okay, let's take a look at the general fund bills.
Oh, we did receive that letter. Did you want to address that in discussion?
Oh, okay. Let's back up to Heather McClagan's letter. If I can find my copy in here. We received a letter from Heather McClagan requesting that the street that is past her house, it would be on
The second page.
Sixth Street, to be blacktopped. And Jordan did reply back to her with the response that, of course, the property owners are assessed 50% of the curb and gutter, 50% for street replacement, and full installation would present, full curb installation would present some water drainage problems. So we're waiting for a reply back to her, but if you would like to discuss this, we can put it on the next Public Works Committee.
It's fine.
So, he did have a good response to her, so, you know, she had another meeting tonight, so couldn't be here to talk about it, but I think our response at that time would have been to send it to Public Works anyway. And with what,
Justin kind of.
well, yeah, with what Justin told us tonight, there's probably some possibility that we could work out something, but, you know, that's up to the bids, I guess, of what we get and what the neighbors and everybody that's involved in that would want to do, so. If that's okay with you, we will give that to the,
That street exists as a gravelled street.
It hasn't been
Looks
improved.
like an alley down there.
Yep.
Yeah, I know which one we're talking about. And the people that would benefit from that would be McClagan's, and it wouldn't be a through street, so it would be McClagan's and the people on the other side of it.
so it's definitely something they have to decide. But we have the options because Justin was here and,
Yeah,
you know, which we
it's-
wouldn't have otherwise,
yeah.
so,
It's
That-
probably not a lot different than the situation that we had on South Main.
Maine.
Right.
Yes.
And that was tied in with one of our
There may
construction
be more
projects.
people on South Main.
That could be.
Mm-hmm.
That could be.
But they were willing to pay for that themselves and get it done, so, okay. Okay, let's go on to the general fund bills then.
You'll also notice that the monthly report was included with that.
Yeah.
I failed to mention that during my report, so I do apologize.
Do we wanna do that separate then, as long as,
They haven't been approving it, but yeah.
well, let's do the general fund bills and then we'll come back to that.
Okay.
I will take a motion to approve the bills for this time. Total of $135,749.80.
Move to pay the bills.
Thank you.
Second.
All right, we have a motion and a second to approve the general fund bills. Any discussion? Anything that caught your eye? We did cash in a CD from one bank and moved it to this one. That's the 100,000 you see there. Any questions?
On the that, work that was done on that John Deere, tractor, was that work that needed to be done, or was that something that got damaged during the winter, or?
It was work that just needed to get done. The parts had broken or just needed to be replaced for us to be able to use it.
Okay, but it wasn't from any hitting the snowbank or?
Not to my knowledge, no.
Okay.
If there are no more questions, I will call for the vote. All those in favor say aye. And opposed, no. Motion carried. Okay, let's look at the financials. Do you have any comments or anything you wanna let us know about, Jordan?
You'll notice in one category, it was, we used as a transfer for moving the CD, and that, it's entered and removed from the same line.
I see that.
I don't remember where it was, but that caught my eye. Otherwise, we're in that 23% spot on most departments.
25.
20,
whatever
yeah.
it is. I do just wanna note that, I know some of us have complained about the high attorney bills and so forth, and way over budget, it seems like every month, and this time I don't know if I should say that.
Don't jinx it. Don't jinx it.
On the attorney bills, you and I have complained about that endlessly, but yes, and we're below, way below. And I know we haven't had any major things coming up, and I know that's been the cause of it, but, congratulations.
I can't take credit for that.
Well, I think you can.
No, it's just,
Every phone call costs us money.
yeah.
I'll take a motion.
Don't give me too many things to complain about.
Yeah. I'll take a motion to approve the financials.
Also,
Thank you. And a second?
I'll second.
All right, we have a motion and a second to approve the March financials. Any other discussion or questions? All right, all those in favor say aye. And opposed, no. Motion carried. We have a thank you note included.
This we do today too.
Oh, I'm gonna do them both. From the Red Cross, it's good to be able to provide a place for them to do the bloodmobile, so thank you to everyone who did donate the blood for this last time. And then we also have a thank you card from the Southwest Initiative Foundation for the annual contribution. Your support of our works means a lot. We're honored to have your name on our donor list, so thank you for approving that. Moving on, I just have a couple of things that were mentioned to me. This is the time of the year when everybody likes to start going out for walks. They'll take their dogs out for walks. I just want to remind everybody that if they have a dog and they don't have it licensed yet, it's time to get it done. And the same way with the cats. And the junk is starting to show now. That's in all the yards, so we don't have to wait for the cleanup days to pick up the pop cans and the papers and junk that have been blown around, so the yards can look a little better. And if there's garbage anywhere, that needs to be picked up. That does not have to wait for cleanup days for that, so. Garbage and trash on the yards is a lot that shows as far as just general attention to a yard. So I'd appreciate it if everybody would make some kind of an effort on a warmer day to get out there and get that picked up. And the dog license is something that needs to be done too, so.
You know, I'm sorry, but I still have a problem with cleanup day. Our people aren't even gonna know until next Thursday when the paper comes out. A week from then, Friday is the cleanup day. They
Well-
won't even have a week to get stuff ready to take out there.
We'll,
Usually we publish quite a few,
it'll be published next week in the paper
and it's a week from Friday, Jordan.
and the
What are you talking
shopper
about?
and,
Okay, I should have.
It'll be in the shop for this weekend, right?
it'll be in the shopper this
Comes-
weekend,
Comes out on Friday now,
Saturday,
Saturday.
so.
We can get some posters maybe and put up in the post office.
So,
Put one on the door
The,
here.
what we do here is that if we do put it in the paper, people don't,
I don't read the
they don't
paper.
read the paper, so we'll post it on the doors here. put a sign up at the post
We'll
office.
need some of that because it's not very far off.
Yeah, if they have a mailbox, they go to the post office, so they've got a bulletin board there, so
I'm
it'd be,
sorry, I never go over to the bulletin board when I go to the post office. It's way over to the right-hand side, and if you've got a post box over there, you see it, and if you don't see it.
that's true too. I guess my box is there, so I see everything that's there.
Mine isn't, I just go straight ahead.
Straight
And
ahead.
there are a lot of them that are straight ahead with you.
Yeah, that whole
Unless you're going over there to work in that corner, you don't see those things.
Hmm.
So, I wouldn't guarantee any, there are too many people will see it over there.
Okay,
On your mention with people with license with the dogs and the cats, maybe they should take a little baggie along and clean up after them too. And there are some dogs running at large. I've got tracks in my yard almost every morning. I think I know whose dog it is, and it better stop, because something might happen.
they don't wanna go to Fairfax to pick it up.
But I mean,